Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my armory. It's been a while since I did an unboxing on a big box. I present Big Box. But what you care about is the contents. So, for a long time I've been admiring from afar a non-Warhammer miniatures game. Now, if not, welcome to a Star Wars Legion video. This has been 10 years in the making. Well, I say in the making, but 10 years coming. So, the Empire very much is striking back with this video. Adjusting the stand so you guys can see. So, I have here the Empire Blizzard Force, Battle Force starter set, words, things. So, while 40k is going more and more towards 2 army starter boxes, Legion is actually going in the opposite direction. Legion is giving you a themed faction that you can run as an army. This box, I mean, you see on the art there, you've got Vader, you've got various snowtrooper options, you've got an AT-ST, you've got snowtrooper heavy weapons platform. I mean, you see the AT-AT on the front art, but an AT-AT would be like 3 feet tall. Like scale-wise for Legion, an AT-AT is approaching Warlord Titan height. I want to make one. Yeah. But, I mean, later in the video you'll see how big an AT-ST is. But yeah, now with the new edition dropping, I don't think any of these are going to be of any use. But all these, we've got we've got D. Vader over here. We've got 3 squads of snowtroopers. Is it 2 individual bikes or 2 squads of 2 bikes? And we've got an AT-ST. There we go. Let's just take the plastic off. Let's actually just keep ripping the plastic so that I don't completely squish the box. So then, it is, the box is set up like this. So we've got the big sheet of tokens. We've got to read this first booklet thing. Let's see, we've got to read this first and so on. We've got a thing for Atomic Mass Games, there's Mondai America, Lucasfilm Limited, lists off the playtesters. Oh, I think I damaged that. On the other side, we've got the art from the cover. Then we've got the cards, which are not going to be useful. We've got the speeders, just the speeders. I do find it interesting. Legion, unlike Star Wars, unlike all of GW's game systems, actually cuts out their kits, which I find wild. Hey, we've got Vader there. I recognise the hand. D. Vader. I would have liked it if they bundled things individually, like individual squads, although they might have. We've got the Legion bases. We've got these look like parts of the AT-ST. We've got an AT-ST entire top section. I would have thought they'd have had that bit be loose, just so that you could put someone in there like Chewbacca, but it might still be. Now I'm just going to check this. No, there isn't instructions hiding in there. They might be on the website. if they exist. Now, I remember seeing something a while back about there being an issue around Star Wars Legion having instructions. Oh no, there's instructions there. Good. It lists to go to the website. That's one way of saving paper. But yeah, you got huge bundles of stuff, like these parts of Vader. At least they've got Vader as his own bag. You don't know the power of the dark side. Yeah, that's a number of individual bags and group bags. I see a collection of trooper bodies there. I see some flame troopers here. Good old flamethrowers. Because you naturally think flamethrowers when you think snow troopers. What? We've got more bodies and some blasters. We've got more bodies and some blasters. We've got more bodies and some blasters. More bodies. Oh no, speeder bike bodies. We've got the speeder bike scout. We've got what look like more speeder bike bodies. Also, we do get 2 full squadrons in there. 2 full squads of them. Good. More flamethrowers. At least, I don't know, more trooper bodies. And some other weapon options. Are those ion guns? They look bent. I'm pretty sure these are all leg parts for the AT-ST, so yeah. We've got the big bases, so that's the big one there is for the AT-ST, I can tell from the size. And these 4 would be for the speeder bikes. So yeah, I'm going to build these up off camera. Okay, so I finally got them built up. It took a surprising amount of time. That AT-ST was fiddly. But these things. So, in terms of the instructions for these, warped. But in terms of the instructions for the infantry, they were adequate. They pointed out what parts went together, and each sculpt type was bagged individually. So you had 3 of the flamers, 3 of the sergeants, and so on, per bag. Now that made things relatively easy. Darth Vader was in his own bag, as you saw, and the speeder bikes were in, I think, multiple bags. Now the speeder bikes were a nuisance to put together because the instructions weren't adequate. They were vague. Now, I made a mistake and built and attached the tank thing on to the bottom of the blaster on this one. Whereas I think, according to the instructions, it's actually supposed to go there. But again, the instructions were vague. Now, I've left him a bit loose so as to have less trouble with painting. Because it'll be easier if I can remove the riders from the bikes. I've also done the same with each of the non-Vader infantry models. Because of the way they're designed, the only part you really have to glue to the base is the feet. So they stand up. But the rest of them you could just push fit, which is nice. Now, they are all monopose. That is a point against this, versus something like Cadia stands, which I'll do a video comparing these tomorrow. These are decent. The detail levels aren't as bad as I was led to believe by some of the Warhammer fans, but like there are problems. I see some pretty severe pretty obvious mold lines in some places. Some of the details on the backpacks are a bit rough. There are a few ejection points. I do find it interesting. Some parts were clearly put together before the box was packed. Now, what I'm referring to particularly, that's only held on with friction, but if you look at this, there is clearly two parts here. There's at least two parts here. On here, because like that is a separate component. You can see the seam lines. I can even get my fingernail in there. I find that an interesting choice. Now, I chose to shave that down so that I could physically be able to pivot the turret around. And I've left this part off so that I can actually I've sub-assembled that so that it can be easily painted, because otherwise I'm going to struggle to get into some of the parts of it. And yeah, the details on these are nice. Some parts are warped. Vader's lightsaber, for instance. Got a straight edge of cardboard. Now if you look, that is horribly bent. That can be fixed. I need to stick it in some boiling water, I think. And there are seam gaps. Vader is most noticeable. And for him, I'm just going to have to use some green stuff. Probably liquid green stuff, because it's the easiest and requires the least amount of work. Didn't leave him loose, did I? Maybe I did. Nah, I didn't. Oh, I can get in there easily enough. But yeah, you can see the sheer gaps. It's a decent enough set. It is a decent enough set. Sure, it could be better, but it could be a hell of a lot worse. As for like getting this just as the new edition dropped was kind of humorous. We've got the different cards in there that are all, I think, kind of useless now, because they're getting new cards. It's interesting, that has more than just this unit in there. I had a quick look on the on one of the Army Builder apps for this force, and this force is around 800 points in terms of Legion. Yeah, whereas Cadia Stands is way less. But yeah, this is a interesting starting force. I'm not sure if this was a good choice as a starting force, but I wanted to have a force of Empire that will look right at home on Renvar. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and for the Emperor.